Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkin, but before we do get to talking to the winter storm, we do have a little bit to discuss about tonight. We're going to have some winter weather stuff going on up north. Not really going to be anything too crazy, but some minor accumulation. Into the morning hours, though, across parts of southern Indiana and into central Kentucky, we will see a little bit of freezing drizzle and a few snow flurries. And this is because it's still relatively cold out there. Tomorrow will heat up, but in the morning hours, we will be around freezing. A few snow flurries here and there. This will eventually taper off as it moves east and move to rain. Temperatures will remain mild tomorrow, which will be amazing. Last day, really, before we start getting into the cold. But over into the morning hours, be cautious when you're traveling out and about, especially if you live up towards Michigan, Wisconsin, across the state of Kentucky, Ohio, areas that could see a little bit of those lower end winter weather impacts. Things may get slippery, so it's definitely safe to have that plan and to be safe. Now, I was talking about the temperatures will be around 40 across the Ohio Valley. The Gulf states are going to be warm, obviously, but as we start getting into overnight and into parts of Thursday, that is where we are going to start seeing some significant changes with the temperature, and it will continue for a prolonged period of time. You can see that cold air, those purples and whites, seriously beginning to dip out of Canada. Negative 20 degrees in some areas across North Dakota and into parts of Minnesota. Definitely cold temperatures that are unusual, not relatively unusual, but it's not often that they get that. We're going to have temperatures potentially into the single digits across parts of the Ohio Valley. Now, when you have temperatures like this, that's going to set up throughout the day. That is where you're going to see the potential for winter weather, and when we're going to have that low pressure system and that snow and ice beginning to move up from Texas, Oklahoma, that's where we're going to get that serious problem. And depending on where the temperature gradient begins to sit, we're going to have to watch that closely, because not only will snow happen up the north that could lead to some significant amounts, but icing towards the south that will definitely need to be watched. Now, it is still a little ways out, so things are definitely going to change. Models are going to shift here and there, but I'm going to be using the Euro for tonight to kind of give an idea on what's going to happen towards Friday and into Saturday. We're going to get some snow and ice beginning to get going across the Central Plains. Oklahoma and Texas mainly, anywhere from the Dallas region up to Oklahoma City, could see some winter weather impacts, and this could last for a serious amount of time, or there for for overnight, a couple hours, and this is going to bring the potential for serious icing if this were to play out across parts of Dallas. You can see these reds and these pinks beginning to pop out for that freezing rain, that freezing drizzle. That was where we could see the potential for some significant icing set up northern Alabama, Georgia, the Carolina coast, and then as we get towards the areas where we're seeing these really, really colder temperatures, that's where we're going to highlight the best shot for snow. Now, like I just said, this is not going to be an exact on this model. We're still waiting to get some short-term models out here in the next few days. But if this situation were to play out, this is kind of what it would look like. And I do agree with this. This could shift north or south a little bit here and there. We'll just have to continue to watch model trends to see how they play out. Like, for example, as I was talking about how models are different, how we'll have to watch the trends. For example, you go and you take the American, the GFS, and you kind of play through the runs. It's a lot more further south, not quite stretching into Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, mainly bringing those winter weather impacts across parts of Tennessee, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and that's what I'm talking about. We're going to have to wait until we get some agreement between the models before we can get a lined out forecast. Right now, they're kind of here, there, kind of doing their own things. Once we get medium range and into the short range, we will be able to get a more ironed out forecast. Now, besides that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather place. Kind of a shorter video, just a little bit of an update onto what's going to happen. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.